Right. Holy shit, I just got banned from my own show.
They keep saying stuff like that, you will.
Oh my God.
I can't repeat that.
No. The things that we say when the microphones aren't up.
We had an entire night show in the last 5 minutes.
If you could read my mind,
I'm sure
or our lips.
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that you could take a little clips from all the shows and put it on a night show.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, pretty slow week. Not much to talk about.
Really?
There's a lot going on.
There's nothing going on.
There is. It's pretty
That's
crazy.
it. Show's over.
So, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Hold on.
Griswold Discuss.
Wait a minute. Hold on, though.
I'm not in Griswold Discuss or Griswold Now. What?
The bells are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bells are back.
The bells are back. In case anyone.
Positive, Kathy.
Yep.
The bells are back.
The bells are back.
She knew they were back because she was running a minute or two late again.
I was not. That's on time. I pulled in at 8:58.
Yeah, she walked in the door at 9.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
See, I was on time.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, Kathy.
That's right. I was on time.
So apparently, there's a whole thread right now on Griswold Discuss about Latham Road. And
yeah, I saw that yesterday. There's a video posted too.
Nice.
In the comments.
Well, I will. It's weird that even happened because was it yesterday? No, day before. I was at the post office, and then a lady started talking to Travis. At the post office, she's talking about how the roads are bad at Griswold Now. I mean, well, that we know that. On Latham and stuff,
and they are bad over there.
Yes, they are.
Oh, she is just sending me. Holy moly!
Yeah.
Who is this?
It's Melissa. She's just
there's
posting me the
there's
thread.
tons of them.
So, oh my
on
God,
Griswold Discuss. I can show you the video.
So
of somebody
So let's tell them what's happening while you're reading your.
All right, so she's telling them, about the Latham thing, and then I didn't say anything in the post office. I walked out, and I said, hey, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you had mentioned, and she said, what's that about the whole Latham thing? I said, have you guys you have a lot to say? Have you gone to a Board of Selectmen meeting? No, I've called.
Called
the Board of Selectmen, and I said, okay. Have you gone to a Board of Selectmen meeting? No. Okay.
So Latham has been brought up as probably maybe October timeframe. When the previous administration was in there, talked about the roads and the repairs and stuff. Because I've been down that road a few times, and so it was explained that they were supposed to repair the roads, but the budget got cut, and I think Todd was a selectman and explained. He's also the director of public works, so he's got a handle on the issues and the cost of everything. And things have gotten cut because the cost of asphalt material and all that's gone up.
It's $1 million a road. I mean, a mile.
Yeah, it's a little less than that, but it's close. So yeah, it used to be, I guess, a third of that like 5 years ago, and now it's doubled or tripled in price. So he explained it. I don't know. I think he said they were going to try and get to it this year or next year. But
what?
Sorry, nothing. I was looking at my work phone. I missed a meeting this morning.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, you looked at it last night.
I know. No, that was this phone.
I
just realized I missed a meeting at 8.
It was called. I'm just gonna let the mail-ins. I mean, when are you guys gonna
let me explain that last night thing. We were out to dinner.
Oh yeah.
When do you think they just exchange vows, between the Malins and the Wasslicks? I mean, God.
I just want to explain. Last night it was okay.
I want to take a pineapple and turn it upside down in here.
We were out to dinner with no.
Love is in the air.
No, we just like to have discussion, and conversation.
I'm sure you're just
couple drinks and a nice meal.
Yeah, we know how what happens after that.
Yeah, I go home and go to sleep.
Yeah, a nice little meal, little conversation.
I didn't have a problem going to sleep.
Love is in the air.
I didn't want to get up this morning. That sucked. especially fighting a cold. I sound like a dude. All right, sorry. Go
You
ahead.
are a dude.
I know. I know.
So anyway, continue on. So this Latham thing, why don't you get a little detail so people aren't on the string, don't know what's going on?
I don't know. You talking.
So we're talking about roads.
Y'all talking about it.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get your jelly. They didn't have any jelly.
No.
But the whole thing of that post is nothing about the roads.
Oh, it's about somebody running people over with a car or something like that.
It's like neighbors, nasty neighbors or something.
Neighbors
and,
or
and the person got in their
Look at each other.
car and
Look at me. I'm
started.
just sitting here
Well,
eating
because you
jelly.
have at least it's not powdered.
they were out of those. That's the first time I've seen him out of jelly donuts. Sorry, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, so what's he going to like? He's going to like what I give him. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to take the Charlene motto, you get what you order what you want, but you eat what you get.
Looks like they were on vacation, right? Charlene's? Looks like they were closed down.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're allowed to talk. It's your show.
We didn't cancel you.
That's coming.
We don't always have just cancel culture. We got cancel Mike.
Yep. All right. So yeah, that post, I haven't seen it since yesterday, afternoon. So I don't know how far it went, but
I'm just looking at it for the first time.
oh yeah.
Actually, so. But anyway, I was talking to this lady, and I told her, I said, there's this little group that started a coalition about 5 years ago that actually stopped something. They said, what? I said, well, it's called Keep Griswold Quiet. They said it was started by one person. And they said, they made some waves and they made stuff happen. And they actually got it changed. So the state police in the state of Connecticut did not put the gun range in Griswold because it was such a movement. I said, you guys need to do the same thing. Well, we're not going to do that. I said, well, then you're not going to get your roads fixed.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Then quit complaining.
Yeah.
What's the point? Why are you gonna go out there complain but not want it? You want someone else to do something about it?
No. Don't even have to complain. You just could, try and see if you can get a hold of the director of public works, Todd Babbitt, and find out where those repairs are at in the schedule. Mm-hmm. He did explain back in October they got moved out because they didn't have any money. And I will tell you once again, on the Board of Finance, they cut another $30,000 for road repair in the budget.
Yep.
So that's not going to help the cause either.
Sit back and watch.
So
I told her, I said, yeah, you got to talk to the Board of Finance.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to do any of that. I said, well,
then what are you complaining about then? What's the point of complaining? You're just hoping someone else is going to listen to you and then just deal with it for you. It doesn't work that way.
yeah, I'm so sorry. Let me get this done for you.
Right. Yeah. No.
Me personally go pave that road for you because I feel bad for you.
So with the person in the post office, they were complaining about the road, the Latham Road.
Yeah.
Okay. So road. Not what was happening on Facebook. Oh. Okay. Gotcha.
Totally different situation.
Gotcha. I thought they were talking about the same thing. Yeah. So you already talked about the budget being cut, but
budget Board of Finance. I don't know. Are you going to finish your donuts and you're going to talk about
budget,
your lack of access to certain websites or whatever? So anyway, so Board of Finance Tuesday night. A lot of discussion.
It was a long meeting.
It was like 2.5 hours long, and actually a lot of people were surprised that the Board of Finance went into the cuts like they did that particular moment. But in any case, they did. Scott Davis, the board chair, started off by saying, "Here's the starting point with the bond payment for the field and the $600,000 that we borrowed last year. We're starting out at a 1.1 mil increase
right off the bat,
off the bat, without any other discussion on the rest of the budgets." So they went down the line by line. Item by item, talking about, do we really need this? Do we really need that? And much to Paul's dismay, they They cut our $1,000 for public health and safety.
Surprise.
Yeah. Shocker.
Did I not tell you that?
Yeah.
From the
well,
beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, you got to try,
definitely.
right? Got to try.
And it doesn't mean it'll be cut. I mean, you
Yep.
can still fight to get something put back in. You could, say, look, we want 500 put back in, or
So
Or you
here's
say
the
1,000.
yeah. So here's the thing, and I know there's a lot of Facebook
warriors.
warriors out there about youth services and the cuts to that plan and
Well,
the assistant.
The cuts were knocking it down from a full-time position to a part-time position.
That's correct.
Ryan's assistant.
So I was thinking about that. So
I'm just
it's
biding my time here.
So
just so you know.
go ahead. So
No, go.
So and then somebody made a comment on Facebook. I won't mention his name, Mike Minarski, about if you really don't like what's going on with youth services, then go to the public meeting about the budget, which I think is proposed for April 30th. Speak your mind, whatever. But in any case,
And
I
since
sent
got
an
booted
email.
from Griswold Now about saying something. Since
Right.
saying something sensible. Oh, okay.
So I sent an email to Ryan Aubin, who's the director, and said, so you may want to, because his new van is still in the budget. So I said, if your van can last another couple of years, you may want to forego the van, and so you can keep your full-time assistant. And he replied back, that's a great idea. Thanks. I'll probably do that. And apparently he might have called Eric, because I saw Eric later in the day and talked to him about that. I also sent an email to Scott Davis about some ideas I had about trying to minimize the impact of the 600,000. I talked to Eric about that too. So
Good done it.
yeah. So the feeling is it's just incrementally paid it back instead of paid it back in full this year. The feeling I got from Eric was, well, then we're still going to have to pay it back next year. And that'll be, but let's face it, folks. 0 mill increases for the town, the way inflation's gone, it's not realistic. We're going to have mill increases, tax increases to offset those costs to what we need for the town. The only way that's going to get resolved is bringing new revenue in. Been talking about that for a long time. And the first step is the infrastructure to get that done and then move forward from there. But once again, to try and keep the mill rate at the final number of 1.5 mills, they borrowed another $150,000 from the general fund, which, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we got to pay that back.
Mm-hmm. So it's the same doing what they've been
Yeah.
doing.
So there's a lot of
previous
pushback, even
years.
from the board members, about doing that, because we're just doing the same thing, right? So
We're basically putting ourselves in the hole for next year right off from the start.
Which is something we've done every year.
And why? Why put us in the hole for the following year?
Well, first of all, I've said in the past, personally, that the Board of Finance holds the pencil. And I thought about that yesterday.
So the Board of Finance has a certain amount of money.
Shut
right?
up now.
No, go. So I'm going to just say this: that we're going to beat them up, right? So we're looking like we're beating them up. The thing is, they don't have an easy job because they have a certain amount of money to play with, right, Mike?
It's the Wayne Malin Show. The Wayne Malin Show.
All right.
So we-
Just
no,
be-
I was in the middle of a sentence,
Okay,
dude.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm done.
So, I mean, they only have a certain amount of money to play with. And
Hey, I got something for you. It's under the table. You want to take a look?
Wayne's flipping me off. I wouldn't want to be on the Board of Finance for any amount of dollars,
Nope.
any year. And this has got to be the hardest budget season ever.
Because they set it up that way last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they put themselves in this position. So while I wouldn't want to be them, because
Did they do
they're-
it to pacify the resident, though?
Did they ask the residents?
I don't know.
Right. Or did they just do it because they just, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they would do something.
See,
like
Alex
that.
Griswold will turn around and he'll say he stands by
Yeah.
The 600,000.
Yep.
Yeah. As he's
Yep.
sitting in Florida.
But then again,
Right.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, Kevin Skulchek did the same thing, but only to the tune of $900,000 to make it a zero. But there have been a bunch of things that have changed.
Mhm.
I.e., we now have this big, beautiful field, right?
Mhm.
Which I'm all for. And I think the biggest problem is perception.
Mhm.
Personally, now, because I want to get your guys' rebuttal on this, is we knew this was going to happen.
Mhm.
This is not a secret. This is something that's been talked about for a while, that there is going to be a budget increase.
Mhm.
When
As there should be every year.
Exactly. We knew it was going to happen.
Mhm.
Some years bigger than others.
Mhm.
And there's really nothing to be apologetic about. It's just the way that it is.
Mhm.
Insurance goes up, transportation goes up for the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Contracts, all the
Unions.
yep.
There's not a effing thing you can do about it.
Mhm.
Things break.
Exactly. And then we John Q. resident sits back and goes, "Well, I don't have any more money." Then move to Norwich.
Yeah. Well, and
41 point what
right.
is the mill rate
It's
there?
ridiculous.
Good
And
luck with that.
any surrounding towns, I and that's the reason why I certainly would not want to be on the board of finance, because they are in a difficult position, because inflation is ridiculous. The price of everything is up. People who are on fixed incomes, they're on fixed incomes. They're not getting money from any other source unless they are able somehow to go back to work part time or
Mhm.
do something on the side. And some people aren't able to do that. So I get it. They cannot absorb any kind of tax increases or anything. However, we have to. We have no choice.
Mhm.
It has to go up, and not going up every year, in my opinion, is part of the problem. You're trying to have appease a certain number of residents that are on fixed incomes and things like that at the detriment of the whole town. And I don't know if that's really the right option, because it's now everyone's got to pay for it eventually. You're just delaying the inevitable by
Right.
doing that, from what I can tell. I mean, I'm no finance guru, but to me that's just kind of basic.
Lori Sorter, otherwise known as Facebook user, why not appropriate that $150,000 to the capital budget for a one-time purchase, realizing it's part of the entire or the whole budget, but there is no minimum number to maintain in that budget.
Yeah, that's an option. Yep. And that's the thing. I think
Well, they
you
were
have
making
to-
cuts in the capital budget, and the Chromebooks, right?
Mhm.
They wanted that kicked out of the capital. That was 132 grand for Chromebooks for the school.
And I still don't understand that. We're all still paying for it.
So-
I don't understand that at all. But
Where is it coming from? The budget's already lean. It is already, there's no fat there. There's more fat on me than the entire
There's no-
Griswold budget.
yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. Where are these folks on the Board of Finance going to find it?
Well,
I
it's
think
not
that
up
I
to
think they need to come out and say, this is it. This is what it is.
Mhm.
And like as far as cutting or reducing the position at the youth center, that is a proposed cut.
Mhm.
It's not
It's not in
the
stone.
law.
No. So, and that's the thing. So all of these cuts are proposed. It's the budget that's being proposed to the public.
Mhm.
The public hearing is April 30th. So folks can come, listen, come to the public hearing,
They can come out
listen
and
to it and talk.
Exactly.
Voice their opinion.
Right.
And then when it goes to referendum, you have a vote to cast.
Mhm.
That's right.
And this is what gets me. And this happens every single year. Kathy, we've talked about it.
Mhm.
Paul and I have talked about it ad nauseum for many, many years. People don't come out and vote. And they don't, if it's got something to do with guns, people will show up.
Mm.
But when it comes to something like this, they're not
Mhm.
going to show up.
No, until they get their bill. And then all
Then
of a
they'll
sudden
complain.
they'll be all over Facebook
Well,
bitching and moaning about their taxes going up.
That's their problem.
And what do my taxes pay for? And blah, 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 blah.
Well, they paid for
Go
you not
look at the
showing up
budget.
at a meeting.
Yeah. That reminds me, where can we find the budget? Is it on the website? I haven't seen it.
I don't think it's been posted yet. I don't think I said there's. I think they're still crafting it. Scott, if you're listening, I don't want to be speaking out of school there, but I don't think it's actually done yet. It's the proposed, and that's the thing. That's the word, proposed.
Right, and that's what I'm looking for. Like I wanted to look at it because it's. I mean, you can't expect residents to go to a public hearing without even having it.
Exactly. And it's like that's the big word. Like Wayne. Okay, never happened. But if I proposed, a serious situation to you, you have the option to say no.
No.
Yeah.
Yes or no.
Why? It's a proposal.
Yay or nay. So here's the thing. If, it's like what I did yesterday is I went around and tried to provide some solutions to Scott and Eric, let them mull it over. To Ryan's thing, Ryan, I think, has an easy resolution to fix the thing with his part-time assistant issue, which could affect his programs. And he's going to be on Tuesday to talk more about that. So,
next Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent you a text about this several times this week.
Okay, then I got to switch things then.
Who'd you have coming Tuesday?
Let's not talk about it.
I'm getting fired again.
No, I'm firing myself. Okay.
So,
all
right. So anyway, go to the town meeting, April 30th, and take a look at if you don't have the budget in hand, take a look at the meeting minutes that when they get posted from Tuesday night, or watch the meeting. If you've got 2.5 hours in your day, watch the meeting. If you're interested to see how it's going to affect your taxes.
Mm-hmm. And I posted that meeting everywhere.
Okay.
It's on every.
Kathy, it's the same thing every year.
I know. But I'm just saying. I'm just letting people know it's on every.
That's all you can do.
It's on all the Facebook pages, Griswold pages. I posted it.
Well, it might get deleted. Depending.
I don't think it got deleted, and I think somebody else had reshared it, reposted it as well. So it's definitely out there if you are really interested. It's a long meeting. I will say I would turn it on in the background while you're doing your laundry and your dishes and whatever, maybe while you're on a treadmill or something. It's long, a couple hours at least.
Facebook user puts, when residents vote on the budget, is it automatically assumed they voted no because they want to decrease the budget? I don't understand.
Oh, so if they vote no,
if you're voting no, you're voting on the budget as presented.
Yeah, you're voting that no, you don't. That's not the budget you want.
It's in two parts, right? It's a budget for the school and it's a budget for the town.
Yep.
And then, do they have a question on this? Did you vote this way because it's too high or if it's too low? No, they don't
question this question.
No.
I don't think there's any questions.
Yeah, I know I've seen it before when they.
It was. I think it's just. Do you
just
approve
straight
this,
out?
Do you approve this budget? Do you approve this budget?
Yeah. And you do know too. I'm sure you know, is that if let's say both budget, they're two separate entities.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's bifurcated.
So if you approve, or as the town approves as a whole, the education budget, and they don't approve the town budget.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that can happen. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Board of Ed's fine. They're done. Mm-hmm. They're over it. But then there's going to have to be another referendum and more tweaking. Here's what I think. Instead of just keep trimming the fat when people don't like it, add that shit up. I'd say, all right, I'm going to put this back in because who knows? Maybe people do want that.
Want more, right? Well, that's what the public hearing is for.
Yeah.
On April 30th, that's the purpose of the public hearing is to have the public come out and speak their mind. No, we don't want you to cut 30,000 from the roads. We want you to add 100,000 to the roads. We want we don't want this part-time thing cut. We want that to remain a full-time. We don't. This board is supposed to be doing what the residents want. So, and if the residents want increases in certain line items, or they don't feel something else is, as important, they're there to listen to the people.
Because I think they list, or the people that speak up are the ones that are saying, I don't want this. I don't want this. They're not saying, we do need this. We do need this. But I really think that people need to have understood last year that it was going to go up.
It's been
It was
several
going
years.
to, I know.
Not just last year.
Yeah, Kathy, you can't tell people
Well,
that.
I know.
You and I know that, and a
I
lot of
know.
other people
Well,
know that.
We even had Scott on here back in November or whatever, right after he got elected chair, and he said right off the bat that there's going to be an increase.
Yeah.
Based on what happened last year and a couple of years before that. So
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't mincing words. It's like, this is what's
It's
going to
coming.
happen.
right.
And that's the thing that drives me nuts, though, is that now they're setting us up for that again next year. And that is so irritating. It's like, why keep trying to set us up for that? Why do we want to keep dealing with this every year? Like, I mean, if you're not making incremental increases every single year, then you're going to end up where we are now, where you're going to need like this big wallop that's going to hurt everybody.
Chasing the economy.
Rather than, right. Yeah, exactly.
Chasing the economy instead of getting ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for this town to get ahead of it because basically the revenue is basically coming from
The residents.
the residents. It's
Rather
not
than-
coming from a lot of business,
Right.
And it's not. You got to sit there and say, well, everybody complains about, well, what about the field? Well, the field's also pretty much brought in what I'm going to take a stab at it, and my wife or whoever else, I'm going to say it probably increased the tuition students coming back by a third, which has increased. They're bringing back 10% or more of their budget.
I don't think the school budget is the question here. I mean, I don't.
Well, they
I
cut the school budget almost $500,000.
I know, but what I'm talking about is I haven't heard really anybody say anything about the school budget.
Because I don't think anybody even knows.
So it was 385,000. It was 415. They gave back 30,000, but they also took the Chromebooks away, which I believe, if I understand correctly, they last 4 to 5 years. So they're in capital. They were in capital. So every year there was a little portion of money set aside to pay for Chromebooks, to replace Chromebooks. So I guess when we got the first wave of these Chromebooks for COVID back in 2020, so now it's 4 years. So a lot of these Chromebooks are starting to see
They're limping
end of
them
life.
along. Yeah.
Right. Look at your phones. How long do your phones last? Right.
And these Chromebooks are used by kids who aren't
Right.
always the most gentle
It's the
with
same
their
thing.
technology.
So they decided to put it in capital, which most school systems do. My wife's looked into it. I mean, Killingly, Plainfield, Ledyard, they're all in capital. But some people believe that they're a reference book and they should be part of the school budget. Well, it's part of infrastructure. It's more than a reference book. It's used for testing. It's used for teachers monitoring kids' progress, things like that. It's a big aid
tool
to the teachers to see how the kids are learning and at what pace they're learning at, and who needs help more than other kids or whatever. So
basically what
Before you get into it, we're going to take a quick break, okay? And
Yep.
we'll be back in a minute to talk more about the budget and what we think should happen.
like it matters.
Yeah, be back in a minute on SNSN.
Jewett City Savings Bank's commitment to helping local businesses fuel growth was recognized by the Small Business Administration and readers of the Commercial Record. We invite you to put our winning commercial lending team to work for your business. Because when local businesses succeed, we all win. To learn more, visit jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
You buy better at Burns, you buy better.
New year, same problem. These insurance prices always seem to be on the rise. Is it simply the company you're with, or is there more you can be doing to manage your insurance cost? Call the Burns Agency today and let our qualified staff walk you through coverage options, eligible discounts, and other cost savings. You can reach us at burnsagency.com, by phone, or better yet, stop by our convenient locations in Norwich and Dayville. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Matthew. I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. And what you say really does matter to me.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. and they make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for talking.
Talk. They hear you.
To visit the dentist. In a word, yes, especially if that dentist is Dr. Katzoff and the staff at Griswold Dental Associates. They follow all the latest safety protocols while doing what they do best, taking care of you. From preventive to restorative, your dental care couldn't be in better hands. To schedule your appointment, call Griswold Dental Associates today, 860-376-2626. That's 860-376-2626.
It's all right.
All right, welcome back here to the show, and we have personal chatter going on the side. We want to make sure that doesn't get put out there.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
You're good? All right. I also want to thank Plainfield Family Chiropractic for joining us on the show. Some, when she'll come in and chit-chat, but also for sponsoring SNSN Sports, and also, of course, TNT Tumblers and Tees. Yeah.
Who are they?
Cheap plug. That's us. That's us. T-shirts and tumblers and customs. We get more stuff. I mean, in town here, people want like customs.
Mm-hmm.
So we just there's like I can't say because we're just doing it now, but we just got like a gift order for somebody. Where
That's cool.
You can put different things on
Yeah.
different types. They're not just tumblers. We have a whole bunch
all
of different
sorts
things.
of stuff. Yep.
Right.
So that's really, really cool.
Yesterday, Nick posted that he's getting his trailer lettered. He posted a picture of his trailer.
I saw it said Nick Snack or something like that. That's funny.
Nick Knacks with his number, buy, sell, trade. He's got the side of his trailer getting a
he's
vinyl
hustling.
decal put on it.
He's hustling.
Cracks me up.
So I put a post up on social media yesterday and about the whole budget thing, and it's like, and I think you guys agree. You have to. It's a proposed budget. That's all that it is.
Yep.
You don't have to sit there and agree. They're not sitting there, saying, this is the way it is. Suck it up, Sally.
Right.
Yep.
No, they're saying here, this is what we think.
Yep.
And either you're going to agree with it or you don't agree with it. And if you do agree with it, tell them why. If you don't agree with it, tell them why. It needs to be communicative between the boards and the residents. The residents are the ones that hold the pencil. And I don't think they realize that. I don't think this is not a lay down, play dead society.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people think their one voice isn't going to change anything.
Well, and I think,
Honestly, that's what they thought for Keep Griswold Quiet too.
Yeah.
Well, and I think honestly, a lot of
What
people don't follow the process. I mean, let's be honest, right? Majority of residents aren't following the process. You could see it even with when I share, when they stream it and I share it. The other night when I was watching it, there were 7. I think the top number I saw for viewers at the same time were 9. So, people aren't following the process. They don't even understand the process. And I was one of those people, I'd say 5 years ago, I was one of them. But once you start looking into it and getting involved and kind of watching how it works, you get a better understanding of it. But with the budget process,
you can do it in the convenience of your own home.
Yeah, I was laying in bed watching it the other night. I mean, I didn't go to it. I mean, and that's the whole point of streaming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, a lot of families, they're out doing their sports, their, extracurricular activities, they're working shifts, whatever. You can watch it. But with the budget, the process, I mean, this isn't just starting now. This has been going on since March, maybe end of February, where a lot of these discussions had started. Yep. And so every department, every group, every, piece of it, the firehouses, all the different departments in the town hall, they all put their budgets together, pull it together, present it. And then they start, whittling it down. Same thing with the education. They all start, looking at it, seeing where they can cut. And then it's presented to the Board of Finance. The Board of Finance then goes through and they start making cuts based on what they feel the residents want. And, and that's kind of the process. So where we're at now, there have already been so many meetings about this budget. And this is where we're at, where we're kind of toward the end of the process. But residents can now get involved, very involved, at this public hearing on the 30th, where they can make a bunch of changes if the residents are loud enough and come out and speak.
Yeah, like Mike said, they can say, well, really, because say Tina and First Selectman Tina, and then your Borough Burgess Lori Sorter both said at the end of the toward the public forum that the most complaints they get about are the roads, both the town and the borough. So there's some work going on a couple of roads in the borough right now, but that's the biggest complaint that they're hearing as a leadership in the borough and the town. So
cutting it 30,000 probably
they're
isn't what
cutting
the
it
residents
30,000. And if I heard Todd correctly, last year they cut it last year too. So it's
I think they increased it last year. They added some last year to it, but
Okay.
I want to say 250, but I'm not sure that number's right. But they added some to it last year. But it was pennies. It's in the grand scheme of things. What they added wasn't going to do a whole lot. It wasn't going to hurt, but it wasn't going to do. Wasn't significant.
No, well, the material and labor has gone up so much. It's 250 is maybe a quarter of a mile, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's not. They're not going to be doing full sections or anything for that amount, but cutting it this year by 30, based on what we heard, it doesn't sound like that's what the residents were.
So the other thing that was interesting was the discussion about the fire apparatus. And what we have coming at us with, we just bought a new pumper truck at the
engine tanker. It was an engine tanker.
Yeah,
right?
engine tanker at the Jewett City Fire Department. And Griswold looked for some monies to repair the frame for one of their trucks, which is going to run to $200,000 to $300,000. There needs to be repairs on the ladder truck to get that to last. Some of it's caused by the chemicals used during the winter. So when they're driving around in the winter, they get that chemical underneath the frame. And when they wash the trucks, it's hard to get underneath the trucks. Same thing with the town garage vehicles. So there's been a plan for possibly like 10 years now to get a wash pit. So they can pull the vehicles in, and this wash pit cleans the underneath, washes it basically to make it last longer. We haven't finished that up yet, but it seems to me, based on, and Todd brought that up at the end of the meeting about, if we're going to need to extend the life of these vehicles, we need to consider getting that done. If there's one capital project that should be completed as soon as possible, get that so we can extend the life of these vehicles. Because I'll tell you, these fire trucks and the town garage vehicles are not cheap. You're looking at $900,000 for one of those tanker trucks.
Probably more than that.
Maybe $1 million by the time we order one. They ordered one. Jewett City ordered one 2 years ago. It was $750,000. Now it's already up to $950,000 or something like that. Almost $1 million.
And the trucks, I think they're meant to last, at least 20 years. They try to get them to last 20, 25, maybe even 30 years.
They're trying to get
and
them.
A lot of them are at that point now.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. That now we're trying to Band-Aid them and limp them along.
And you don't need the fire department going out to a call to put a fire out or save a life or something like that, and then the vehicle breaks down. So
that would not be good.
The same thing with snow removal or any kind of construction equipment out there trying to fix the roads or whatever, and then the equipment breaks down. So there's a lot to it, a lot of moving pieces to run a town. It all costs money.
Yep.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm just saying there's a lot of decisions to be made. Where's the money going to come from?
No, I'm just like, where do you want me to go with this? I mean,
I don't know. Wait.
Just
Freddie,
thoughts.
You just took three different things. And I'm just sitting here going,
no, I'm just trying to say basically for the town side, that's it's a lot of maintenance. I come from a maintenance background. You don't keep up with the stuff, you're going to be paying for it. It's pay me now or pay me later. Same old,
truth in advertising, right there.
Right.
I don't want to pay.
I was just, what, are you afraid to say something? You get kicked off your own show? I don't know.
Or somebody just says, I'm taking it over. I don't know. Kathy?
It's a lot. No, it's
I got nothing right now.
I mean, it's a lot, but I would recommend, even though it's a very long, I would recommend watching the meeting from the other night. It gives you a good idea how the process kind of works. But I mean, they were going through almost line by line. Okay, I make a motion to cut this down by this much. I make a motion to cut this one down by this much. I mean, it was like, holy cow. I mean, toward the end, there were so many cuts. They were like, they had to try to keep track of the amount of cuts and what it totaled, and then what that equated to the mill rate. So toward the end, they were like, well, where are we? Because I think their goal was one of their goals, one of the board members' goal was to try to get down to 1.25, starting from a 1.1 right off the bat. They wanted to only go up to a 1.25, which, I mean, I don't know if that would have been possible. And I think they ended the other night at a 1.5, which personally, to me,
so in layman's terms, all right, the people that are watching, listening, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. What does that mean? What you're saying?
The mill rate?
Yes.
I don't even know what it equates to. What's a mill? I don't even know how much it is.
Somebody figured it out at the end of the meeting. I think it was Mr. Barney calculated it was.
Depends on the value of your house.
We calculated it was value of the house. So if you have a $250,000 property, your taxes could go up like $370 a year.
A year. So divide that by 12 and whatever that is.
$30.
Yeah, $30 a month. So, I mean, so that's with all of the cuts. That's with the $300, almost $400,000 cut, including the Chromebooks and all that for the Board of Ed. That's the cuts to the fire department, the cuts to the youth center, the roads. There were a lot of, and there were a lot of little cuts here and there too. I mean, there were some
Isn't
big
the youth
ones.
center one a little cut?
What?
It's not a huge cut.
It was 30-something thousand, I think.
I know.
Total, right? So, I mean, I guess that's subjective. I mean, I don't know. To me, I think
really in the grand scheme of things, is that really going to move the needle?
When it's added up with all the other ones, that's...
He cut 1,000 from public health and safety. How much is that going to move the needle?
So,
but I'm not going to argue over that. But the thing is the thing I guess is if you're going to cut a program like that without the director there to say how it's going to impact his programs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I said. I think a lot of people are surprised that they started going line by line.
But wait, let's go back to what I said at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Where's the fat?
Yeah, there isn't.
There isn't any.
No, they were cutting. They weren't cutting fat.
And Scott put out there, we're in the whole 1.1 mil already.
Okay.
To start out with.
$1,000, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of anything, right?
Right.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
But they're cutting it. Why? Because you got to find it somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Well, and it's all of it adding up. It's the $1,000 here. It's the, a couple thousand over here. It's this one plus the big chunks. I mean,
so it's a bunch of little tiny cuts.
A lot of it was, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got rid of, they I think reduced the grant writer, right? There was there was a line item for the grant writer.
Like $5,000 for a grant writer, which apparently they didn't use at all last year. So they just removed that.
Well, who's going to work for $5,000? First of all,
that's just a stipend for,
for
having
writing
somebody
a grant.
for writing a grant or two. So.
But yeah,
I mean, there was a while ago. I mean, like School Check wanted to put a grant writer in, and he also wanted to put in a real estate agent to go ahead and sell off some of the properties that Griswold has, and they were paying. He wanted to pay him pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
So a couple of the real estate agents that were actually presented this, they went. No,
right?
Because so the town, when they want things done, they can't expect everybody to sit back and go, "I'll just do it for you."
Yeah,
because you're the town, you're Griswold. Because that's what happens a lot of times. And then when it comes time for actually getting something done serious like that, like we need a grant writer.
Well, so I think
we need somebody to sell off these properties, but not for free.
Well, I think what they were saying, if I remember right, the grant writer, there are people in town hall that can write grants. I think they're looking to try to save that money by utilizing the folks that are already in town hall.
We talked about that one.
Yeah, to write grants that are needed. So hopefully they do that.
What are they doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what they do day to day, but I'm sure they're busy. But
I'm sure they have time to write a grant.
Yeah, and then I think there are other people not even in the finance department that have the ability to write grants. So I mean, if that's the case, then I mean, personally, I'm fine with them cutting that if if they have people that can do it that are already there, then that makes sense.
Well, they do.
But one of the things that I kind of did like from the budget meeting the other night, the Board of Finance meeting, was they did some one of the board members did ask if there was a marketing plan or something for EDC and getting economic development in, which I liked hearing that, because I think we do need that if we don't already have it. But there definitely should be some sort of marketing plan, and because we need economic development, obviously. I mean, we can't, the burden of all of this can't keep falling on the residents. So I did like hearing that question, and like what's the plan? How are we bringing revenue in? Aside from the
we got to
residents?
execute that now. Or
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
Is there a plan? I'm going to go out and say no.
I don't think so.
So
If
they had a
there is-
$5,000 or $3,000 line item in their budget. I think they said they used $240 some dollars of it.
242.
And they asked for an increase of $2,000 to, I guess, create a plan or utilize a website or whatever they're going to do, whatever their plan is. And they just kept it at $3,000. So they cut it $2,000 back down to $3,000 because that was a discussion. That's what came up with the discussion about the EDC plan, about marketing and stuff like that. Which, are you going to get a marketer to work for $3,000? Does anybody in the EDC know how to market the properties?
I don't think. I think it's the cost of the marketing. Not it wasn't for a person.
Yeah,
that it was the cost of supplies or materials to get things done.
Advertising.
I don't think they're paying anybody anything. I think they use it in the wrong spots. I think they've used it in the wrong spots for a lot of years. But you do what you do, and you have the same result that you get. And it's definition of being crazy. Let's do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. Bottom line is the town of Griswold isn't going anywhere for 10 years. It's not going anywhere for 10 years. We have to realize as residents that we are in a building phase. We're in that painful phase right now where it's going to cost the residents more money. This is our town, and we're investing in our town. This infrastructure is nobody's fault that it wasn't built in 1984, on Route 164. This should have been done 40 years ago. Okay. Because God knows Lisbon Landing wanted to come here.
Yeah.
They wanted to come here, but we didn't have the infrastructure. And the powers that be back then, my God, how stupid were they? Because they had people knocking on their door and they said, nope, we're not going to do anything about that right now.
Yeah,
we're
and
going to
here
stand
we
here
are.
with our pitchfork.
Well, and I think
Go get some beans at Stotts. I mean, that's what it was.
and I think that's part of the issue in the mindset, generally speaking, with the town, the townspeople, residents, town hall, whatever, everybody is. Generally speaking, everyone's very short-sighted.
Not my backyard.
It's what's right in front of us now, rather than thinking about a year down the road, 5 years down the road.
We've
10
never
years
done
down the
that
road.
before.
It's very reactive rather than proactive.
Well, I got look, Plainfield's doing it. Holy cow!
Yeah, and unfortunately, that mindset, I think, has contributed to where we are now. That's
absolutely.
We have to stop thinking about. Same thing with the ongoing budget, discussions right now. Yes, I understand people can't really absorb, a tax increase, but long term, what does that do? That's not helping anybody either. Long term, it's we can't just be that short sighted. It's painful. But it's got to be done. I mean, we need to increase taxes. We have to.
You need to spend your money on things that are going to get some ROI. You just are. If you're a businessman or businesswoman in the town of Jalopany, wherever you live, if you sell your inventory down to the point where you don't have much left, what do you got to do? You got to buy more inventory, right? So so why?
And it hurts up front.
It does.
Putting all that money out. Yep.
Okay. And so what happens then? So you can sell that too. And then when you sell that down, what do? You buy more.
It's called investing in your future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then there were different things that you do from month to month. Do you curb your spending here to maximize profits there? Because you can have flat sales and increase profits depending on how you manage your P&L.
Right.
And I don't know if that's what they're doing downtown. I don't know. It's like, to me, it's like and I'm not talking about, because we haven't given Tina Falk a chance. She's been there 6 months.
Yeah.
But everything has been so freaking willy-nilly, for years. So.
Yeah. So who's in now? It's like, this is the sins of the past catching up to us. Right.
Yeah.
So
much like the budget.
Right. So
Bum,
it's
bum,
all
bum.
catching up to us, and it's time to pay the piper. And we're at a very crucial point in this town that, you got nothing else. We can't really do anything but start
and nobody
taxing,
wants
bring
to
money
hear
in.
it.
Right? Nobody wants to hear it. But realistically is we've got a bunch of money in the general fund, and I've said this before, and we need to look at what's going to be the impact of not having a town assessor and paying that town assessors the applicable amount of money that we need to pay them.
And I think they're looking at bringing in someone from sharing with a town at this point because they can't find one.
And then they're talking about human resources, talking about sharing human resource director, have a human resource person in town.
Which I'm shocked at this point that there's no HR person in town hall.
Right.
That's kind of
there are services
scary.
Out there.
When I heard that,
utilize.
I didn't realize there was no. They have somebody acting in that role, but there should be an HR person, or at least, and they don't have to be someone sitting in town hall, but like you said, some kind of third party, a vendor, a contractor, or something.
There are companies that are out there that have HR personnel,
but you have to pay for it.
Well, you do, but it's not as expensive as you may think.
No. But these are things that, like you said, it's needed for the town, and we're just gonna have to suck it up. And folks that have, that are on fixed incomes and all of that, and are going to have trouble absorbing it. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
It has to go up. Look, the towns around us are even higher. We're behind the 8 ball, and we're just going to keep chasing it if we keep making the same decisions that we've been making up to this point. We're not going to dig ourselves out.
I hear the bells.
Hear the bells?
The bells are back.
The bells. I hear the bells. Starting to count down to 10.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that they're back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
they said they're coming back. Remember when you called?
Yeah. I even called Ken Sullivan.
Did you?
Can't we just turn the power on, dude? Just for
Well, it wasn't up to them. It was.
I know
they were doing work on it.
Come on now, you can. Don't flip it the switch.
Well, if they're doing electrical work, you wouldn't want to be flipping a switch in a church while they're doing electrical work.
They weren't doing anything.
I thought they were doing renovations in there.
They haven't done anything yet.
So I don't know
what shut it off because they didn't want to pay for the electricity.
I
don't know what phase they were at in the renovations, but apparently
they're back.
They're back.
And nobody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And we are thankful. I'm thankful because I think that's a staple of this little town. Here we are bitching about budgets and stuff like that. But this is one of the reasons I think that people just like.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard maybe one or two very small, minuscule amounts of people saying, they're too loud. They wake me up in the morning. Well, then go to bed earlier.
I honestly don't even really notice them. You kind of get used to hearing them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Definitely notice them now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Since we haven't heard them in a little while. Yeah.
So what's next for the budget? Gotta wait and see, right?
Well, April 30th.
See, watch the video. Get educated what happened during the budget meeting the other night, and pick your battles. Come up with some solutions. Don't just bitch and complain. If you're going to go to the town meeting and just complain, take a look, think about, come up with solutions, and try to be helpful.
Mm-hmm. And
what I'm seeing in this town a lot is that people just complain about stuff. Complain, don't come up with any resolutions to try and help with the problem.
Mm-hmm. And you also look at the big picture.
And it's after the fact.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But they also have to look at the big picture. Some people may come in, for one particular line item and really fight for that one line item, which fine, do that.
Yep.
But you have to keep the big picture in mind as well. You have to understand that what you're fighting for will affect something else. So are you willing to do that, so keep that in mind as well when you're looking for
So
all this.
we're in a like I said, I don't know, like 10 minutes ago, like we're in a 10-year plan. We're 10 years out before we really reap the benefits of anything else. You know
as
what
long
I mean?
as we start fixing it now.
Right. So like Wayne, let's say you have Wayne's widgets that you're selling and you need a manufacturing facility, right? You look at Griswold and there's a plot of land. You look at Plainfield, again, right off the highway, just like Griswold. Trucks can go in and out real easy, except they've got infrastructure. Where you gonna go?
Plainfield.
Yeah. Why? Because you want to start it now.
They're already
Ready
set
to
up to
go.
go.
Mhm.
Right.
So this is why we don't have any business over there in 164 because we're not ready for that.
Not yet, but they're
No, you're right. Not yet. But the more that we wait,
Right.
okay, when did the infrastructure get voted on?
was it 17
5 years
or
ago.
19?
5 years ago.
5-6 years ago.
19,
right?
May of 19, I
Okay.
think it was.
We put ourselves, okay, no, well, it was COVID. Come on. People were doing stuff, all right?
Yeah.
Towns were expanding. Plainfield was expanding the entire time. We just laid down and played dead.
Mhm.
Why?
I don't know.
That's my point.
I don't know. But yeah,
We could have been there.
but we're getting there now. It's being done.
I get
know.
it, and that does not stroke my ego.
I
I mean,
know,
I'm
I
telling
know,
you right
but-
now, it should have been done.
I agree.
It isn't.
I agree. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. It should have been done, or at least started, or something should have been in the works.
Should have been done 40 years ago.
That too. Yeah, absolutely. But back then, I don't think, same as now, I don't think people had the foresight to see what was coming,
Well-
but you need people that can
Well, I
see
am
that.
happy that Tina's having special meeting after special meeting after special meeting, at least trying to push it through.
Mhm.
When really it was a dead duck line in the water
It was just
the last
sitting
couple of
there.
years.
Mhm. Last
And
several
now-
years since it was voted on.
Right. But now she's actually taking the ball and said, okay, let's go.
Right.
It's going to
Yep.
take some time.
Yep.
But
So there were 3 issues that were voted on in 2019. That was the senior center, that was
Yeah.
the gas project over for the school, and the infrastructure project.
Mm-hmm.
So the gas project got done, senior center got done, and the most important thing to the town, really, in my mind, for growth was the infrastructure that needed to get done.
Yeah.
and different projects altogether.
Yep.
Different
Mhm.
people, different
Completely
companies will be
different.
doing that.
Mhm.
Yep.
So you know what? I'm going to be honest, straight up, people bitching about the senior center.
Yeah.
They're full of shit because it has nothing to do with that.
Right.
All right. The people that were building the senior center had nothing to do with the infrastructure. It was
Correct.
just something to bitch about.
Yep.
I wonder if
It could have been done simultaneously.
I was just
The
gonna say.
money was set aside.
It was separate money,
All right.
yes.
Mhm.
Exactly. And people go, well, the senior center. Well, shut your mouth
Yeah.
because it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like,
And I know,
and tell me if it does.
And the
Well,
gas project had its own separate project, separate funding.
but I think
So
another
it was all
piece,
separate.
Exactly.
but another piece to all this, I think, with the infrastructure was the state or feds were involved because of the grants. So I know that caused some issues as well. So it's not 100%, I think, on the town, but
it could have been a long time.
it could have been.
ago.
I think so, yes. But
It should have been done a long time ago. Kathy's right. There were some issues when I was asking questions about. They had issues with, I guess, the USDA grants, things like
Yeah.
that, because
they wanted it together.
nobody was
then
in
they wanted
office.
it to-
Nobody was in the
apart
offices.
during COVID.
Okay, then how did the senior center get done?
That wasn't the same.
There was a
Grants,
grant. There was
but
a
not
$2 million grant.
Right, but the USDA grant with this one, from what I understand, with the infrastructure, they wanted the water and sewer put together, so it was submitted.
Now they
put
want it
together.
separate.
Then they
They
wanted
want
it
it
separated, and I think they went back and forth a couple of times with all of that, and that takes a lot of time. Then you
So-
submit
But
it.
I think
and
if we
you're
weren't
waiting.
asleep for the last 2 years, then I think maybe we'd be in a different situation.
Well, part of it was the state was asleep. They would submit it, or the Fed,
Right.
whoever it was, they would submit it and then literally wait months and months and months waiting to hear back. And then they'd come back and say, oh, we want you to put it together again. It's like, so I know that was part of it,
Mhm.
but obviously I'm not in the day to day, but that was part of it that had been discussed at a lot of meetings and things like that. But it's getting done. And like you said, there are a lot of special meetings. I know they're working to get it started. And I think she said shovels in the ground May, right?
Yeah,
Was it
I
May
heard.
or June?
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend or something
Yeah.
like that.
So I mean, we're close. We are
Look,
close.
I'm thankful
Thank
that it.
God.
Right, I'm thankful
Mhm.
that it is.
Yep.
You know, I'm glad to see things progressing.
Mm-hmm.
So the sewer line's starting first,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So those spades in the ground sometime late May.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then they're also working on the water project side. So that's going to follow after the sewer's done.
Mm-hmm.
And they're working on how they're going to coordinate that and get the proposals out for contracts or whatever. I don't know. I think he said in a couple months or something like that.
And there's two projects, right? It's the water lines and the water tower.
Correct.
Right?
That was split into two projects. Yeah. Correct. So they're moving ahead with that in parallel with the sewers, so they can keep things moving.
Mm-hmm.
Think I pissed anybody off today?
So what?
Yeah. Because I'll just get booted.
Off your own show?
All hail!
Stop it.
King
Stop.
Carl!
Oh, gee, here we go. I'm surprised you waited this long.
I don't care. I really don't. I think it's funny. You're saying, oh, it doesn't bother me at all. Not one bit. I think it's just funny because I could irk back. You know?
No, you can just create your own page like you just did several months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And kick yourself off then.
I just need some admins that actually do shit.
Don't even go there. I'm on that thing almost every day. Don't even. Don't even. Go look at the activity log. I'm on that page.
Maybe I should go get Phil Flowers. He's amazing.
Phil Flowers.
Because he likes to take ideas. He's like, oh, we'll post meeting minutes. Wonder where I saw that shit.
Oh, was he posted? I don't even pay attention to what's being posted by who. I just scroll and see what I see. I don't even look to see who's posting stuff.
I don't read any of that.
And
My
he'll be
wife
going,
sends me stuff.
Carl, guess what I saw?
Yeah.
Guess what I saw Minarski say? You better talk to him. I will talk to him.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh, banned for life. Just like that basketball player.
Uh-oh.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
It's funny, actually.
Great. Am I causing trouble?
No. This guy, I love the dude to death. It's
Okay.
just funny shit. So I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
And we can talk about it more tomorrow because it's going to be.
You know
What's
what?
tomorrow?
You could ripen the hell out of stuff tomorrow because I ain't gonna be around.
Yeah,
so.
you're not going to be around. It's going to be myself, Mr. Canova, and Paul.
Oh.
From what I understand, you don't need anybody. You can just sit here. And,
Just talk.
Oh, you know what? Fire me again. I dare you.
you're fired. No, you know what? I'm actually glad you did it. Because who really thought that day one mail-in, came in here. You didn't say nothing about nothing. It's like, well, and look at him go.
Can't shut him up now.
Mail-in the morning.
So before we go off,
Mail it in.
Yeah.
before we go off, you had asked, so what's next? So I just want to put it
Yes.
out there. April 30th is the public hearing. I don't know what time, but April 30th is the public hearing. I'm guessing maybe 6 p.m. or something. So keep an eye out for that.
Mhm.
May 2nd is the final Board of Finance meeting before sending the budget to the Board of
We'll
Selectmen.
post it on Griswold News and Notes,
Yep.
and then they'll post it on Griswold Now after they see what we do.
Yeah.
But-
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there's a public hearing. Some changes can be made to it on May 2nd at the final Board of Finance meeting. From there, the budget
Yep.
goes to the Board of Selectmen. And then on 5/21, May 21st, there's a town meeting. And then the referendum is tentatively set, I think, for June 4th. So, and that's where everybody can come and vote yes or no. And it's two budgets. It's the Board of Ed budget and the town budget separately. So you can vote one yay and one nay, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
But so those are the dates: 4/30, 5/2, 5/21, and 6/4.
Why don't you post it, admin?
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I think it already.
Remind us.
No, I think it already was posted. But okay.
Yeah. Post it 3 more times.
Okay. I will.
Because you know why? Because people will say, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Anyway.
we could post it.
No, see, here's the thing. This is the thing about weird. Shut up! I already know what's going. When you post something, even though if you posted it 3 times in a row,
Mm-hmm.
it looks to us 3 times in a row.
Okay.
But come through because people don't really go to pages;
Okay.
they scroll.
Yeah.
Right. They're not going to see that it was posted 3 times in a row.
Mhm.
It's just more of an opportunity to get into someone's timeline.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's all it is.
Okay.
Mail in the morning.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about Board of Finance stuff tomorrow and see if I can get Paul fired up. Try to get Paul fired up tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going to need to put a matey up his ass to do that.
I don't know. Once you get him going, though, watch out.
Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When he gets going, he does go. It takes something to get him going.
That's all right. Once he gets going, it's pretty entertaining.
It can be. All right. We also want to thank Uncle Cranky's restaurant in the beautiful town of Griswold, right on Main Street. Love their wings. They have this buffalo.
Jeez.
It's just a fur ball.
You need to quit smoking.
It wasn't him.
Quit the shit.
Oh,
Quit smoking.
Knock it off. Quit smoking.
So Uncle Cranky's
Mm-hmm.
has delicious wings,
They do.
especially when you guys were there. You know, when you guys the Malins and the Wassocks were on date night.
And Canova.
And Canova, that's right. Well, he's there in case somebody drops out for the day. He's the understudy. Wayne, you're out. I'm in.
That's it.
I'm in. I had the buffalo dry rub.
Mhm.
Freaking amazing. It
Mhm.
really was good. I didn't know what to expect from it.
All
but,
their food is so good.
yeah. Rubino's Full Circle, established 1959. Rubino's Full Circle. Their burgers are amazing.
Mm-hmm. Their
Said what I said.
Their food's great too.
Huh?
Their food is great.
Yeah, I like the atmosphere too. And,
Mhm.
and now with the seasons changing finally,
Mm-hmm.
with no warning, they have a bunch of entertainment. They have trivia nights. They're gonna have music and stuff on the patio.
Yep. They're gonna have outside. Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be a very exciting place to hang out.
Yep.
As long as Paul doesn't bring his gnats, you can go outside.
Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank, honest banking, real people. Check out your local branch. We have one right downtown on the corner of Main and Slater in Jewett City. P7 Construction. Find them on Facebook. New construction, roofs, remodels, whatever you want to do. P7 Construction LLC. Capital Property Group. What's the matter, Kathy?
Nothing.
Capital Property Group, right here, also in the town of Griswold. They can, if you have an association that you need managed, a condo association or housing, or what HOA? What do they call that? Housing
Association.
Yeah.
HOA. Housing. Oh, shit.
Homeowner association.
Homeowner
Homeowners, there you go,
association.
okay.
There you go.
I'm like, what's the O? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Well, never mind, Kathy. If you don't you don't know by now.
Rich, you're asleep at the wheel, dude.
Canova, tag in.
She's missing a big O there. We all just got kicked off.
That was good.
That was
good.
Once in a while, sometimes I can be quick, but
Yeah.
not all the time.
Oh, can you?
Boom, boom. It's after 10 o'clock. Who cares?
All the kids are in school, supposedly.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, Capital Property Group. Yeah, let them manage your. If you need to know what the O is, give them a call.
Mm.
Highway Campers, Route 12, Plainfield. They've been in business since 1967. Family owned and operated. 860-564-0141. Griswold Pride, the partnership to reduce the influence of drugs for everyone now, with a second naloxone box. There's one outside of UCFS now.
Oh.
Yep.
So there's one here at Paragon at 70 Main Street. And there's one at UCFS.
She's got another one going up somewhere too.
I thought there was one going up behind Town Hall.
Yeah.
Thought so. I don't know.
So,
But it's not there yet. So.
Okay.
Miranda reported out at Public Health and Safety. She's working with Public Works to get one put up around Town Hall, and I don't know if there's a fourth one or not, but
There'll
Yeah.
be more coming.
there'll be more coming.
Cranky Punch. Yes, I did have that.
That's Rich's favorite.
Yeah. Well, he
He
told me
likes
about it. He
that.
goes, did you try the Cranky Punch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
No.
It's good.
Yeah.
And then I was so excited. Hey guys, I got the cranky punch.
It's good. It's sweet. It's like, it's one of those you have to be careful because you can drink them and then not realize how much you're drinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yummy.
So in response to the what the O is, Rich says,
Oh, he's listening.
giddy up.
Apparently, you are not giddying up, Rich. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Oh my Lord. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm not going to be here for a few days. So the program director, Wayne Malin in the morning.
The guy who can't shut up. Yeah.
Who'll be, no, that's not a bad thing. When you're doing a talk show. You know? So anyway, you'll be here running the ship tomorrow as well as Monday.
That's correct.
My my son is getting married on Saturday, so we'll be out of town. But the funny thing about it is, I was telling, I was at a restaurant briefly, and someone said, "Oh, I heard you're going away for the weekend." I said, "Yeah," and they said, "Yeah, my son is getting married." And the girl looks at me and goes, "Oh, the hot one?" Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, that's a compliment. That's nice.
I've made pretty kids. That's all I can
So
say.
where'd that come from? The hot one.
I'll tell you. But well, Nicholas is a good-looking young man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good-looking young man. So all right. So good luck, everyone. Dealing with Wayne tomorrow. You'll be fine. But thanks for listening today, guys, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday with not Scott Davis.
Oh.
But Ryan Aubin, because you already planned that, and I made the boo-boo.